60 years have passed, 6 decades since a day that shook America, March 7th, 1965, Bloody Sunday. It's a date etched in history, a day of violence, a day of courage, a turning point in the fight for civil rights. We remember Selma, not just for the brutality, but for the bravery, the unwavering pursuit of justice. Selma's legacy is powerful. It reminds us of the cost of freedom, the sacrifices made, the fight that continues. This anniversary is about honoring the past, learning from it, and carrying the torch forward. This moment is about education, about justice, about ensuring the right to vote for all. It's a time for reflection and a call to action, because the dream of equality is an ongoing journey. Selma, Alabama. A place where segregation was deeply rooted, where the right to vote was denied to many African Americans. On March 7th, 1965, hundreds gathered. They were determined to march, to demand their rights, to make their voices heard. John Lewis, a young civil rights leader, was there. He and so many others. They walked peacefully across the Edmund Pettus Bridge. But they were met with violence, state troopers, tear gas, brutal beatings. The images shocked the nation, the brutality exposed. The world saw the reality of segregation. Bloody Sunday ignited a movement. It sparked outrage and demands for justice. It fueled the fight for voting rights. This march, met with such violence, became a turning point. It showed the world the lengths to which people would go for equality. It forced America to confront its own demons. 60 years later, we remember, we commemorate, but we also reflect on the progress made and the work still to be done. This anniversary is about education, about teaching the next generation, about the fight for voting rights, about the importance of justice. Events will honor Selma's legacy. They will focus on education equity, on empowering communities of color, on celebrating the achievements of African Americans, on the role of black women in the movement. The fight for voting rights continues. We must remain vigilant. We must protect the right to vote for all. We must honor the sacrifices made by those who marched in Selma. Selma's legacy is not just history, it is a call to action. It reminds us that the fight for justice is ongoing, that we must never take our rights for granted, that we must always stand up for what is right. John Lewis once said, "Our struggle is not the struggle of a day, a week, a month, or a year. It is the struggle of a lifetime. Never ever be afraid to make some noise and get in good trouble, necessary trouble." Selma teaches us that change requires courage. It requires persistence. It requires us to lift our voices, to march for justice, to never give up on the dream of equality. Let us honor Selma by continuing the fight, by ensuring that every voice is heard, by creating a world where equality reigns, a world worthy of the sacrifices made on that bridge 60 years ago and every day since.